Episode 1 was incredibly intense, but Episode 2 takes the pace even higher. That's the appeal of Arcane. After witnessing Caitlyn's dark transformation in the previous episode, we now see Jinx confronting her inner turmoil in this one. Meanwhile, as Piltover sinks into chaos due to ongoing attacks, Zaun also destabilizes with the turf wars between the Chem Barons. A single rocket triggers a series of complex events. Now, let's dive into what happened in Episode 2. Without further ado, let's get to the main content. Don't forget to subscribe if you enjoy the video. Episode 1 opened with the funeral of Counselor Cassandra, and Episode 2 starts with Vander's. But unlike Piltover's solemn ceremony, Silco is farewelled in Zaun's cold waters, where he spent his entire life. Jinx is his only mourner. This scene revisits memorable moments from Season 1, emphasizing Jinx's heart-wrenching pain. Jinx's words reveal how deeply hurt she is, similar to Caitlyn. She had two father figures, and both are now gone. Jinx never wanted things to turn out this way. She only wanted to protect Vander, but accidentally caused his death. She didn't intend to kill Silco, but in a moment of instinct to protect her sister Vi, she did it. Now that Silco is gone, Jinx doesn't know what to do. She relied on him for so long, and now, like Caitlyn, all she has left is emptiness. Next, we see Zaun descend into chaos as the Chem Barons fight for power. Zaun's hierarchy comprises Chem Punks and Chem Barons. Chemical industry and technology, Chemtech, define Zaun. In Chemtech, the classes include Chem Punks, Chem Workers, and Chem Barons. Chem Workers are factory workers or infrastructure repairers in Zaun. Chem Punks are street thugs or mercenaries working for Chem Barons. Finally, there are the Chem Barons, each ruling over an area or industry. An example is Renata Glask, a tycoon in respiratory equipment, who became one of Zaun's wealthiest. Another is Rena Varaya, a female Chem Baron famous for her herbal products. In this episode, we focus on the Chem Barons introduced in the series. There are 6 of them, but Silco, Finn, and Renata are dead. This leaves Marcus, originally from Piltover, managing the host company's illicit information network in Zaun. Meanwhile, Margot runs the Vist, providing underground entertainment in Zaun. Then there's Snake, a brutal figure who runs Scrap Hacker, a company that offers body modification services. In Zaun, the Chem Barons loosely ally to divide territories, but are always looking to stab each other in the back. When Silco dies, a power struggle erupts among Marcus, Margot, and Snake. In the ensuing chaos, Marcus's men kidnap Zaunite children, possibly to train as mercenaries or laborers. Jinx encounters a girl named Isa who's fleeing from Marcus's men. Jinx saves Isa, and the two quickly bond. Isa, with her blue hair, resembles a young Jinx. This character may play a significant role in Jinx's development in future episodes. Meanwhile, Snake, against his subordinates' advice, attacks Margot's base. Snake seems to have used Shimmer, Zaun's powerful chemical, to enhance his strength. Inside Margot's base, Shimmer smoke fills the air, even overwhelming her own guards. In this episode, mysteries surrounding Shimmer and the schemes in Zaun intensify. These details promise an even more thrilling and tense continuation in the next episodes. Ravika is forced to call a Chem Baron meeting to discuss the situation. Though she often switches sides, her actions are driven by a desire to protect Zaun and keep it independent, as was Silco's dream. But the other Chem Barons are opportunists, only seeking personal gain. Particularly Snake, whose only ambition is to hand Jinx over to Piltover. He knows that this would not only bring a reward, but also avoid conflict with Piltover. With Jinx captured, Piltover would allow him free reign in Zaun. Snake, a cybernetic augmentation kingpin, tempts Civica with a more advanced prosthetic arm. But we know Civica is not easily swayed. Though she may change sides, she remains loyal and is never a traitor. Jinx knows this, which is why she chooses Civica to confide in. Everyone in Zaun knows Silco is dead, and now they're ready to fight for their ideals. When Jinx confides in Civica, Civica understands that Jinx didn't intend to cause Silco's death. Both are lost after Silco's passing, unsure of what to do next. Civica wishes for someone to inherit Silco's dream of Zaun's independence so she can follow that ideal. Meanwhile, Jinx doesn't have such lofty ambitions. She only longs for companionship and the feeling of family. Now that Vi has sided with Caitlyn and Silco is gone, Civica is the only one Jinx can consider family. Both Civica and Silco had cared for her since she was still powder. Jinx, wanting to help Sevica, sets off to find a new prosthetic arm to replace Sevica's damaged one. This is Jinx's way of showing affection, quietly doing something for someone she cares about, even though she often appears cold on the outside. Deep down, she is still a kind-hearted child who thinks of others. Just like when Jinx quietly tried to help Vi, leading to disaster, then attempted to please Silco by sneaking to Piltover to steal the Hextech gem. Now she quietly searches for a new arm for Sevica. What Jinx truly desires is to feel useful, to be recognized, rather than being seen as a burden. Unfortunately, a deviant named Smeeg noticed her intentions and began lurking around. But in the underworld, where one is watching, there is always someone watching the watcher. Back in Piltover, Victor has now fully recovered. His body has completely transformed, now integrated with machinery, no longer the disabled person he once was. As analyzed in previous videos, ancient arcane magic created the world of Runeterra. This magic has the ability to integrate with anything, including plants or humans, and transform them. With that power, Arcane could create any creature in Runeterra. Now, this ancient magic has completely changed Victor's body. The technology Victor once used was unfinished, but Sky's sacrifice inspired him with the missing element to make a major breakthrough. With the integration of new technology, Victor gradually reaches a brilliant state of evolution. When Jace embraces Victor in joy, Victor's face remains expressionless, as if all emotion has been stripped away. He returns the embrace out of necessity, not because of shared joy. Even when Victor says he's not cold, it shows that he seems to lack basic human sensations. If you pay attention, Jace's words now are very similar to what Victor once said. By using Arcane, they understand the nature of this technology. But at the same time, Arcane is beginning to understand them. This ancient magic is influencing Victor, though we don't yet know exactly how. Victor's words now are merely logical, right or wrong, good or bad, devoid of any feeling. When he recalls Sky, he realizes he has wasted too much time on meaningless projects like the Atlas Gauntlet, when his main purpose for coming to Piltover was to find a way to help Zahn. We also meet Echo and Heimerdinger again at the Firelight's base, which has now become a shelter for refugees from Zahn. They're concerned about the base's capacity, and even more worrying is the large tree they rely on for survival, which is shedding its leaves and slowly withering. Strange golden patterns have appeared on the leaves, patterns Heimerdinger recalls seeing before. These are designs we previously saw in Victor's technological network and Heimerdinger's dreams, signs of Arcane. But this time, those patterns aren't caused by Victor's hex core, but by something far more sinister. To learn more, Echo and Heimerdinger sneak into Jace's lab and encounter him there. Jace confirms that this pattern appeared on the tree they experimented on with the hex core. This raises the question of whether the hex core's influence is spreading from the lab down to the Firelight's base. Actually, the cause is the headgate, where hundreds of Hextech crystals are stored, with a much greater impact than Victor's core, understandably affecting the surrounding vegetation. Victor's story isn't over yet, but to be clear, we'll continue to follow these developments in episode 3. Back with Victor, he has now returned to Zahn and sees the people living in more miserable conditions than he has ever witnessed before. The underground of Zahn is a place for the wretched, and where waste collects. Toxic air, scarce food, and mutated creatures make it difficult for people there to survive long. Zahn's citizens even worship Gianna, a wind goddess who once protected them. At this moment, we hear a voice in Victor's head that seems to be Sky's. If this is true, perhaps the Hex Core has absorbed Sky, becoming a part of Victor and guiding him on his quest for purpose. Back to Jinx, she returns to the playground she and Vi once frequented as children. There, she displays her talent by crafting a new prosthetic arm for Sevica from salvaged materials. She even dismantles Vi's old boxing machine, showing she's ready to sever ties with her past. She chose this place because it's the only spot where they once shared happy memories. Vi thinks the same, bringing Caitlin and the Enforcers there. For Jinx, this is a profound agony. Her life has always been intertwined with Vi, her only remaining family. Since her days as Powder, Jinx has longed for Vi's presence. This is evident from the first scene when Powder opens her eyes. The first thing she wants to see is her sister. Jinx's eyes are red-violet, while Vi's are powder blue, symbolizing an inseparable bond. When Jinx collapses at the end of Season 1, the marks on her neck and face seem to spell V as a final call to her sister. The blue smoke tattoos on Jinx's body are also a way she hopes Vi will find her. To Jinx, Vi is everything. But now, with Vi truly back, the situation is tragic. It's not what she wanted. Vi has brought along the person Jinx despises most to capture her. This devastates Jinx, who flees the place nearly numb inside. The moment Jinx cries is one of real pain and despair, as if she just wants to let go of everything. Meanwhile, Caitlyn coldly readies her gun, adding to the tension. Angry at not being able to capture the person who killed her mother, Vi grows even more bitter, although this may not be the central issue. Recall that, years ago, enforcers funded by the Karaman family wiped out Vi and Jinx's family, along with many Zonites. Then, Savika captures Jinx and realizes that the enforcers have descended into Zon mainly to hunt her down. An interesting exchange follows, revealing Savika's blunt personality and Jinx's indifference. Jinx's line, "Anyone close to me dies, whether I want it or not," shows her sorrow for herself. Unfortunately, like her name, bad luck clings to her. Next is a breathtaking, crazy fight scene. Though lacking deep analysis, it captivates with thrilling action. After handling Savika, Jinx delivers a line showing her indifference. When Savika asks, "Why keep doing this?" Jinx replies, "At least it's something I can fix." This line reflects Jinx's ironic outlook. Jinx has always wanted to help others and feel useful. With Savika as the only one close to her now, she willingly goes into danger to assist her. If you rewind to the start of episode 2, Jinx once said, "Vi told me I could fix anything, but I ruin everything." It's Jinx's pain, always wanting to help, but her bad luck keeps ruining things. Now, she wants to defy fate and prove she still has worth, that she can still help someone. Jinx's future might brighten in the second half of the show, at least with little Yisa by her side. You see, Yisa is mute, so she'll never accidentally hurt Jinx with cruel words. Yisa's inability to speak contrasts with the voices in Jinx's head that constantly taunt and haunt her. Yisa is truly a new light in Jinx's life, though it seems storm clouds lie ahead for them in episode 3. Now, let's momentarily leave this unfortunate girl and return to Victor. He's now following an invisible guide down into Zon's waste tunnels. Countless wretched people follow him, including a character named Hud. You might remember Hud, who was once helped but has become a ruined shell due to Shimmer. What happens next reveals HexCore's power, the mysterious technology Victor is studying. It draws in surrounding metal fragments, transforming Hud's body with machine implants, and even appears to rejuvenate half of his body. If you look closely, you'll see Victor sweating, as if a bit of his humanity remains. In the final scene, Victor strikes a Christ-like figure as he returns to help Zon's people. This is not just his desire, but also Sky's wish. They have now merged into one body and together pursue what they believe is right. However, an interesting question arises. Why doesn't Sky wear glasses as she used to? Is this really Sky, or merely a version created by technology to deceive Victor? In general, Victor is moving closer to his true nature in the storyline. Pursuing the ideal of ultimate evolution, he becomes emotionally detached, believing that machines can help people avoid suffering and failure. Because emotions can cause inaccuracy and control people, Victor wants to turn Zon's citizens into machines to free them from suffering. It's likely that his differing view from Jace on HexCore's power will lead to conflict. Let's see how Riot develops this conflict in the upcoming episodes. That concludes episode 2 of Arcane, but clearly Jinx won't sit back and watch everything burn. She now has something else to care about. Something important to her. There's one more episode to end the first arc of Season 2. I hope you're satisfied with this analysis. I'll provide a detailed plot breakdown for Episode 3. Goodbye and see you next time.